Councilman Phil Baddour Sr. The Goldsboro City Council was told by Blair Corshen last night in asking for a change of property zoning on North Park Drive that Corshen Distributing Company plans to build a family play center for 2 to 12-year-olds on one tract and hopes to attract a national chain restaurant to locate on the other. Corshen described the family play center as the first state-of-the-art facility for this portion of the state.
It will be an interactive family play center where parents will actually play with their children, which we think is important because a lot of times families do things separately, and this will give them a chance to play together and spend time together.
Blair Corshen. Attorney Trey Taylor told the Goldsboro City Council last night in asking for a change of zone for a nearly 11-acre tract on the U.S. Highway 70 service road between Berkeley Boulevard and Royal Avenue that it will be the site of a large retail wholesale business that will add to the local economy in many ways if approved.
A large retail wholesale business establishment is planned for this property. Unfortunately, because of the sensitive state of negotiations with the possible tenant, we cannot disclose the name at this time, but we can say that it will be a positive addition to Goldsboro. It will be a positive addition to our ad valorem tax base. It will add to the sales tax which we collect and will also create jobs for our cities.
Attorney Trey Taylor. Mount Olive Town Manager M. Thomas Barnes resigned last night in a letter dated yesterday. Mayor Lewis Pate said it came as a surprise to him. Barnes gave no indication of his intentions in the letter. The town board voted as a goodwill gesture to give Barnes 8 weeks' pay, including vacation, and wished him well. Lloyd Warren, the Director of Public Services, was appointed interim director while a search is on for a permanent replacement for Barnes. Mayor Lewis Pate read Barnes' letter.
Gentlemen, please be advised that I hereby tender my resignation as town manager for the town of Mount Olive, effective immediately. With best regards, I am sincerely M. Thomas Barnes, town manager.
Mount Olive Mayor Lewis Pate. And the Mount Olive Town Board made one adjustment last night before approving a 1994-95 budget that gives town employees a 3% pay raise and retains the town's 74-cent tax levy. I'm Wayne Alley.
Griffin Oil Company has a long tradition of service with Phillips 66 petroleum products, and Griffin Oil doesn't stop there. Griffin also gives you fast, efficient delivery with radio dispatch trucks. Griffin Oil Company, supplier of Phillips 66 gasolines, diesel fuel, home heating oil, motor oils, and lubricants. The finest products for the home, farm, and industry are just a phone call away. Call Griffin Oil Company at 735-4911. Griffin Oil Company, distributors of Phillips 66 in Goldsboro and Wayne County.
Leith of Goldsboro beats the heat with their sizzling summertime of savings going on right now. Get dependable transportation with air conditioning for only $194 down and $194 a month. Choose from the Dodge Colt, Eagle Summit. How about a brand new 94 Isuzu pickup with air, rear step bumper, cassette, and sliding rear window for only $194 down and $194 a month. It's the sizzling summertime of savings sale at Leith, Carson, Plymouth, Jeep, Eagle, Leith, Dodge, Isuzu, Highway 70 West, Goldsboro. Leith has so many outlets they can maximize the value of your trade, allowing you more than any other dealer. Tax tags and $158 dock fee or extra payment space on 60 months at 8.5% APR.
It's going to be a very hot, steamy afternoon with temperatures climbing into the mid-90s across much of the area. We do expect some thunderstorms to develop, and they could be quite strong, accompanied by some gusty winds and hail. Highs again in the mid-90s. Chance of an evening thunderstorm, otherwise partly cloudy tonight with lows near 70. Tomorrow, partly to mostly sunny and not as hot. There is a slight chance of a late-day thunderstorm tomorrow. Highs 89 to 93. I'm Brian Orzel in the Weather Center.
Palooza ahead of you here today, folks. If you just hang around, stay right where you are. The Rush Limbaugh program's on the air from New York. But remember, as long as I'm here, doesn't really matter where here is. A program for America, regardless where it originates. Indeed, a program for the world, because it covers the world. Glad you're with us, folks.
Hope you have a good time today. We will.
This is a special edition of the Rush Limbaugh program, America Held Hostage. And now, from our studios in New York City, here is Rush Limbaugh.
Here are the number of days that have transpired since Bill Clinton was inaugurated and held America hostage. We call it the Raw Deal. Today is day 518 for the poor and the middle class, day 537 for the rich and the dead, 944 days of the most confused presidency. Just look at the newspaper headlines today. We got major conflicts over what really happened in North Korea, and we've got a huge conflict in the press over health care. And the question once again arises, who's running the show? Details coming up. Suffice it to say that Hillary Rodham Clinton pounded a lectern yesterday saying it's all or nothing today. No more of this waiting stuff, no more of this watering down our plan. No, we got to go for it. We're in trouble here. You guys keep coming up with your compromises. It's not going to work. We need universal coverage now. Meanwhile, her husband is on the Today Show saying, yeah, if we get it in 5 years, it's fine. Meaning universal coverage. It's confusing out there. There are 140 days left until the elections, ladies and gentlemen, November elections this year. Our telephone number is 800-282-2882. Jimmy Carter has been totally discredited upon his return. He promised Kim Il-sung that the United States and the United Nations had ended sanctions when they have not. And the Clinton administration yesterday, it's so bad now that the Clinton administration brought in a bunch of op-ed columnists and critics of their foreign policy to have a meeting and tell them, give them ideas about what to do. Well, I've got the names. I don't know if I cut the names out. I don't know if these names would be instantly recognizable, but they are people formerly in previous administrations and people, not everyday op-ed columnists, but people who've written op-ed pieces. Physicists and so forth, people like that. I mean, this is just too much. First, let's do the O.J. stuff in no particular order. We are told now that Al Cowlings, best friend of O.J. Simpson, was trying to save his life, and in fact succeeded, as was postulated yesterday by me on this show. A view held by many that what Mr. Cowlings did was actually steal Mr. Simpson away and talk him out of killing himself. The story is that O.J. wanted to go to the gravesite of his wife and kill himself there to be with her. This is the story that has come out. And there are the skeptics who say, nah, this is all part of an elaborate scheme to paint a picture of a total disconnect from reality on the part of O.J. Simpson. Also, Jim Brown, former NFL great and Hall of Famer himself, said on television yesterday morning that, hey, everybody knows it. Why shouldn't I say it? O.J. had a problem with coke. We should point out that the Juice and Jim Brown were never buddies. Jim Brown was, in my estimation, I mean, I have to attach a name here, a word to his feelings. I would say he was jealous. O.J. was a mainstreamer. Jim Brown never could crack the mainstream. O.J. broke some Jim Brown records. O.J. then went to the Hall of Fame. O.J. then successfully got into the movies. O.J. successfully got into the product endorsement field, and O.J. successfully negotiated his path to loved American status. Jim Brown tried it and didn't succeed, didn't get as far. And it's no secret that they didn't like one another. That having been said, this is not the first person I personally have heard say that O.J. Simpson did cocaine. In fact, there are others. And I told you yesterday that you should be on the lookout for this, that there are going to be facts or statements or assertions offered about O.J. Simpson that many are not going to believe, are not going to want to believe. They're going to be shocking and stunning. And you're going to hear things said which will indicate, will not necessarily prove, but they will just indicate that there was a real dark side to O.J. Simpson. One of the other things that is now making the rounds is that O.J., in addition to having a huge coke problem, had a worse alcohol problem. And that everybody around him knew it. And as long as the proceedings here are going to drag out, you should expect to hear a number of things, some true, some false, some wildly prejudicial, some wildly speculative, but you're going to hear a lot of things. Now, I just want to offer a personal observation here as to O.J.'s performance yesterday and his appearance before the judge at the arraignment, where he apparently had to be coached by his attorney to say things. For example, when he was asked, how do you plead, his attorney, Robert Shapiro, with hand constantly on his shoulder, it whispered to him, not guilty. And then O.J. very firmly and with a good voice said, not guilty. Then after that had trouble remembering his name, had trouble confirming that he was indeed who he is. Now, we've been told that the prisoner, O.J. Simpson, is on tranquilizers while in jail. And some have said, this is not fair, they're doping O.J., this is not fair, how can they do this? Well, if you have just a bit of knowledge about cocaine users, it's addictive. If he was doing the amounts of cocaine that are being stated that he did, being said that he did, then there's no question he's in withdrawal. I mean, he's got to be in withdrawal in that cell. And it would then be wise to assume that the cops might be giving him tranquilizers to ease the pain and suffering of withdrawal symptoms. I mean, I don't know if you've seen withdrawal from drug abuse. It can be pretty hideous, and tranquilizers would certainly lessen the effect. So it may well be that that's why he's being given tranquilizers in jail. Could be, if the cocaine stuff is true. I've heard it from a lot of people, folks, and I don't want to be guilty of spreading innuendo here. I'm just reporting what others have said, Jim Brown, of course, being the most prominent. It appears that what may be taking place, to my untrained legal eye, is an attempt to establish diminished capacity due to alcohol and drug abuse. May be part of the strategy that the defense is going to concoct here as a defense. Now let's talk a little bit about what's happening here, because now the defense attorney, Mr. Shapiro, pushed for as early a preliminary hearing as possible. Why? He wants to see what the prosecution has. He wants to see their evidence as quickly as possible. And they may not be ready to present their evidence yet. As you know, they're still in Chicago looking for a weapon. They're still in that field off to the side or behind the hotel at O'Hare International Airport, where O.J. stayed for a couple hours, looking for a knife. A second witness has come forth. There was one witness for a gas station said he saw somebody fitting O.J. Simpson's description wandering that field. That witness said, hey, there's somebody else who saw somebody who looked like O.J. There are two of us who saw him, not just me. So now the cops are looking for that second witness that has been pointed out by the first witness. They're looking for the murder weapon in that field. Now, they have not yet found it. The prosecution in this case, I must admit, is behaving a little peculiarly in that they are releasing what bit of evidence they have so far. They are allowing certain bits of their strategy to come out. When the DA, Mr. Garcetti, suggests that he expects a confession anytime soon, this seems to me a little risky, and it could well be, and this is a long shot, but it could well be that because of the way some of this stuff has been handled in the press, that the defense may have a good shot at having some of the evidence thrown out. For example, the glove, the bloodied glove that was found on O.J. Simpson's property that supposedly matches a glove found at the crime scene. The defense is suggesting that, and some legal analysts are suggesting that the search for that glove may have been illegal and improper. They have to throw it out. So I just want to caution you, those of you who think this is open and shut and want it to be open and shut, we haven't seen, we're dealing with the tip of the iceberg here. As to strategies, as to, don't think here for a second that the defense has given up and all they're going to do is try to get the smallest or least sentence for O.J. as possible. It appears from Mr. Shapiro's strategy yesterday that they attempt to join this battle of conducting the exchange of evidence in the media. that means that they are extremely cognizant of Mr. Simpson's popularity and will hope to capitalize as much as possible on his popularity in this period before the impaneling of a jury. And I find it fascinating to watch all this go on. It's somewhat amazing to see this review of evidence and strategy take place so soon before anything will ever happen in court. Now, there is a grand jury ostensibly hearing evidence. Those proceedings are by law secret. Nothing is supposed to come out of those hearings. To tell you how a grand jury works, the prosecutors call anybody they want, they bring them in, and they ask them questions. The grand jury listens, and the defense is never allowed there. The defense is never allowed to refute any of this. Nobody is allowed to go in and say, hey, I don't agree with what that testimony just was, what this evidence is. You can indict, as it's been said, a ham sandwich in America if you want. Basically, this is just the prosecution heading in, presenting themselves in terms of their evidence to the grand jury, and asking the grand jury to indict. Now, they would prefer an indictment, because an indictment then would eliminate the preliminary hearing. The preliminary hearing will be held June 30th if the grand jury does not hand up an indictment. The reason for the preliminary hearing so soon, the reason it's desired by the defense so soon, is because they want to see what the prosecution's got. They want to see that evidence quick, because you have to present it then. You have to pretty much lay out your case. And 10 days, they may not be ready to do it. Despite the fact they went for an arrest real soon, despite the fact they think they've got their guy, they may not yet have their ducks all in a row in terms of getting a conviction. Don't forget, the prosecutors know what they're dealing with out there. They've had the Menendez trials, the Rodney King trials, the Damian Football Williams trials, Reginald Denny trials. I'm sure they know what they're up against out there. Not to mention now Mr. Shapiro's very obvious attempts to capitalize and improve upon
There's a growing fuel
goodwill, love, and sympathy that many in Los Angeles and around the country seem to have for O.J. Simpson. So this has got a long way to go. Then that's a cliche, but there's also another story out there today. The Fair tonight has a story from some guy who was O.J. Simpson's caddy for a game of golf on the day of the murder. Did you see this? Now, this guy is going to describe on a current affair a total loss of temper by O.J. Simpson that day. O.J. was playing golf with a guy named Craig Baumgarten. Baumgarten teed off, hit a very bad shot, turned to O.J. and teasingly blamed O.J. for his bad tee shot. O.J. lost it. Threatened to kick your ass right here and now on this mother-blanking golf course. Simpson did not do it. He and Baumgarten later hugged and made up. But afterward, according to the witness here that's going to be on a current affair, a guy by the name of Mesco, Simpson turns to him, Mesco, the caddy, and says, Mitch, I'm a pathetic person. And Mesco says, Juice, you're not a pathetic person, you're a pathetic golfer. To which the Juice responds, I'll remember that remark. Now, let's not go off. You know, we're dealing here with the nature of evidence. The seriousness of the charge is great, but we are dealing with the nature of evidence, and this is not evidence. Nobody could make hay out of this at all. O.J. had a temper tantrum on a golf course. I mean, you should see me on a golf course. I don't have any clubs anymore. They're scattered over about 4 golf courses, in trees and at the bottom of lakes. And I'd hit a bad shot, boomerang my club around, it never came back to me. I'd wrap them around trees. I would dig divots in the fairway with my driver. Just keep pounding it till I got the frustration. That's why I quit the game. It was no fun. But it didn't mean that I went home that night and did anything, or that what I did that night had anything to do with the fact that I had a lousy day on the golf course. You got to be careful about this. Also, there's a story in USA Today about Buffalo being in shock, racked with disbelief. Now, please. One more thing about that, and then after this, we move. Oh, there's also controversy. Time Magazine and Newsweek have similar covers out. They both got the mugshot of O.J. on the cover. But Time has made OJ a couple of shades darker. They have, with what they're calling photo illustration, doctored the mugshot. OJ looks far more sinister than in the regular mugshot, which is on the Newsweek cover. There are charges of racism being leveled against Time magazine. I would ask them, how does it feel? Lot going on today, folks. A whole bunch of news out there. We'll get to all of it, plus your phone calls right after this.
You're listening to the EIB Network.
Well, folks, you won't believe what's going on here. My office at the EIB building has been inundated with teddy bear grams from the Vermont Teddy Bear Company. We got all kinds of bears here. And they're customized, too. We even got one with a microphone that says, "See, I told you so." It's got a button that says that on it. Well, I did tell you so. Vermont Teddy Bear grams are an expressive, personal, fun way to let somebody know that you're thinking about them. It's a great way to say happy birthday, or congratulations on your new job, or I love you, or hope your marriage is everything you want it to be. And bride and groom bears bring best wishes for a new life together, too. I can tell you from firsthand experience, a Vermont Teddy Bear gram has impact, and it makes a lasting impression. We're sitting on my desk the other day. I walked in and said, "What are those?" I said, "Vermont Teddy Bears." Already gotten 2 of them in one day. Call 800-829-BEAR. Talk to a bear counselor. Find out just how many options are available when you send the unique Vermont Teddy Bear gram. That's 800-829-BEAR. Send somebody a teddy bear gram today. You'll not regret it. 1-800-829-BEAR.
If you are in business or have children in school, then this message is for you. This is Kevin Trudeau, founder of the American Memory Institute. Imagine you or your children with a virtual photographic memory and being able to remember names and faces, facts and information, telephone numbers, things to do, and more. Students get straight A's with less study time. Call 1-800-862-MEGA and see why over 2 million people have already benefited from the easy-to-learn Mega Memory Home Study course. That's 1-800-862-MEGA. 1-800-862-MEGA.
There's a growing fuel supplier in the area that is ready, willing, and able to meet all your fuel needs. Castleberry's is your BP fuel oil and gasoline distributor. It also meets your LP gas needs. And now Castleberry's would like to welcome new customers previously served by Ideal Oil Company. As Castleberry's continues to grow, you can always count on them to be competitive and dependable for service and delivery. Castleberry's can serve you from several different locations. Call 242-4171 for service in the Fremont area. For service near Goldsboro, call 734-3111. And in Johnston County, dial 934-4141. For the farm, home, or business, Castleberry's is ready to provide prompt and efficient fuel oil, gasoline, or LP gas service. Small or large users are all welcome to the growing Castleberry's family. Remember, for LP gas, fuel oil, and gasoline, from pre-season checks to service to delivery, call Castleberry's. It's here, your wake-up call for better cotton profits with the proven early season Heliothis and armyworm control of Larvin brand insecticide Ovicide. Applied early in the season, Larvin delivers powerful protection against Heliothis eggs and larvae, the kind of protection that helps plants develop a better bottom crop, so you enjoy an earlier harvest of more top-grade lint. And the best way to handle armyworm problems late in the season is by using Larvin early. The selectivity of Larvin lets important beneficial insects work with you to help control damaging pests all season long. Plus, the carbamate chemistry of Larvin provides extra insurance against the potential for pyrethroid resistance. This year, wake up to better cotton profits with the proven performance of Larvin brand insecticide Ovicide. Larvin, the early season specialist.
One more bit of news. A stewardess on board the American Airlines flight from Los Angeles to Chicago the night of the murders said that O.J. Simpson kept his hand in a bag during the entire flight. 1-800-282-2882, St. Paul, Minnesota. This is Steve. We have a cellular call to lead things off today. Hello.
Rush.
Yeah.
An honor to talk to you. Mega ditto.
Thank you.
I had a comment on North Korea.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm extremely worried that a nation like this has potential for nuclear weapons. I don't buy what's going on over there with Jimmy Carter and this deal, because it's just giving them what they want.
Which is?
Time.
Time!
They can do anything they want while this whole snow job is going on, and next thing you know, they've got a nuclear arsenal.
This is, of course, a grave concern. You are correct. But there's something that is even greater concern to me, and that is this. Jimmy Carter went over to North Korea, met with Kim Il-sung, who, as I said yesterday on my television show, bears a strong resemblance to Chicago Cubs broadcaster Harry Carey. No offense, Harry. I mean, it doesn't mean anything that you're a communist, of course, but look, the similarity is noticeable. And they're out on Kim Il-sung's yacht. And Jimmy Carter says the United Nations has ended their drive for sanctions. And Kim Il-sung, sitting there looking like he's on drugs, nods his head in grateful appreciation. Well, we then discover that no such thing has happened. There has been no conclusion to the talks ongoing about whether to impose economic sanctions on North Korea. We got some great headlines today in the newspaper about all this. In the USA Today, it says North Korea negotiations breakthrough showdown bogs down. U.S. debate shifts on North Korea. Carter's visit derails sanctions drive. Now, Jimmy Carter said the crisis is over. It clearly is not over. He asked to go over there. The President of the United States said, yeah, go ahead and go. Carter once asked to go somewhere. I think it might have been Korea. But during the Bush administration, the Bush people said, no. Keep hammering those nails. Do what you're an expert at and keep building those door frames. But the Clinton administration said, go ahead and go on over there. And now, where we are is that the White House has had to convene a meeting of people who have been entirely critical of their behavior here to seek ideas, suggestions, and so forth. There's something clearly missing here, and that's knowledge, experience, and leadership. And while you can be afraid for the Koreans, you also have to be a little bit edgy about what we're doing. Hey, listen to this, folks. NASA has chosen verbal advantage, and I'm quoting now, to improve the vocabulary, listening, and communication skills of its employees who communicate with astronauts. NASA knows the importance of using the right words. Your success depends on that as well. Verbal Advantage audio cassettes work. I know it. NASA knows it. Learn more about the Verbal Advantage success vocabulary now. Call 1-800-28-TAPES. That's 800-28-TAPES.
This is WGBR News, Goldsboro's very own.
This is Wayne Alley. A pickup truck van collision at James and Elmore Streets in Mount Olive yesterday claimed the life of 46-year-old Jesse G. Pike Sr. of Buckhorn Road at Marmac and injured his 20-year-old son Jesse Gene Pike Jr. and another passenger, 43-year-old John Ingram. All three were pinned in the pickup truck, as was the driver of the van, 37-year-old James Clyde of Mount Olive. All four had to be removed with the jaws of life, according to an officer. The officer said investigation disclosed the van went off the road on the right and crossed back, then collided with the pickup truck registered to Outlaw Mobile Homes. Investigation is continuing, and an officer said charges, if any, will be filed today. The Goldsboro City Council was told by Blair Corshin last night in asking for a change of property zoning on North Park Drive that Corshin Distributing Company plans to build a family play center for 2 to 12-year-olds on one tract and hopes to attract a national chain restaurant to locate on the other. Corshin described the Family Play Center as the first state-of-the-arts facility for this portion of the state.
It will be an interactive family play center where parents will actually play with their children, which we think is important because a lot of times families do things separately, and this will give them a chance to play together and spend time together.
Blair Corshin. Mount Olive Town Manager M. Thomas Barnes resigned last night in a letter of resignation dated yesterday. Mayor Lewis Page said it came as a surprise to him. Barnes gave no indication of his intentions in the letter. The town board voted as a goodwill gesture to give Barnes 8 weeks' pay, including vacation, and wished him well. Lloyd Warren, the Director of Public Services, was appointed interim director while a search is on for a permanent replacement for Barnes. Mayor Pate read Barnes's letter.
Gentlemen, please be advised that I hereby tender my resignation as town manager for the town of Mount Olive, effective immediately. With best regards, I am sincerely M. Thomas Barnes, town manager.
Mount Olive Mayor Lewis Pate. The North Carolina House of Representatives voted last night to approve what North Carolina Taxpayers United says is the largest state budget in North Carolina history. The organization's Dave Murray noted that Representative Carolyn Russell voted against approval of the budget and that Wayne Representatives Philip Baddour Jr. and Jerry Braswell voted approval. Murray said the House package spends almost $1 billion in surplus funds and increased the 1994-95 state budget to $10.2 billion, and none of the surplus funds were used to provide tax relief to citizens. I'm Wayne Alley.
It appears our best chance of thunderstorms the rest of the week will come this afternoon and evening. Conditions are ripe for scattered thunderstorm development, we think, and some of these thunderstorms could be quite strong. Highs 92 to 97. There is a chance of an evening thunderstorm, otherwise partly cloudy tonight with lows near 70. Tomorrow, plenty of sun, only a slight chance of a late-day storm, highs 89 to 93. I'm Brian Orzel in the Weather Center.
Rush Limbaugh. Get with it, get down, yet another round.
Getting with it every day, redefining hip and greatness on the radio. It's Rush Limbaugh, 1-800-282-2882. I expected this. I'm surprised we didn't get this call yesterday. It's Claude from Brooklyn, upset that I'm discussing O.J. Simpson, right?
Yes, Rush. I tried to get through to you yesterday. I'm calling from Brooklyn, New York.
I knew it. I just knew it, yeah.
And good God, all I'm hearing is that we have a world ready to blow up.
That's right.
We have a president that's taking this country down the road to ruin.
That's right. And nobody chronicling that better than I.
Yes.
Yes.
And this is why I was ready to bawl the hell out of you because you were wasting so much time. I don't give a tinker's damn about O.J. There are more important things in the world.
Well, this show has an obligation to many. I have this show's charter is to discuss the events of the day.
Yes.
And we have 3 hours here. There's plenty of time to discuss it all. Yeah. And this frustration you exhibit, I can understand it on one day, but if you judge this program over a long period of time, you will see that no show is more devoted to saving America than this.
I know you are, and this is why I was so annoyed. I've been listening to you for years. I subscribe to your newsletter. I've read your books. You're a great guy.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Well, you just stay with what you're doing, and the heck with O.J.
Don't worry. Look, we're going to keep... I'll tell you what. The people want to hear about this O.J. stuff, and I think there are probably people who... look, I must say this. It's probably going to offend some. There are people who want to hear what I think about it. Because it is a matter of great societal and cultural interest here. It's going to get interesting if it isn't to you already. I predicted it will.
Right.
At some point here, you sound like Uncle Bob. Right.
Well,
but look at the New York newspaper. Look at the New York. I figured the Post or Daily News today. We had 6 pages on O.J.
I know.
6 pages on Barbara Streisand, for crying out loud.
Oh, that one, yeah.
12 pages in New York City about 2 people in the Daily News of the Post. I forget which it is.
Well, that I expect.
Yeah.
From the liberal media, that I expect.
Yes.
But, Rush, come on, you got more important things to talk about. I do appreciate your concern for others' opinions, naturally.
Yes.
And people are interested in
this.
Yes.
Well, we're going to talk, look, just so you don't go away unhappy, we're going to be talking about health care today. We're going to be talking about the Korean situation, which you already have. We're going to be talking about the Clinton's legal defense fund's been set up. We're going to be talking about the trial that begins in Little Rock on the first Whitewater trial, and how the special prosecutor, Mr. Fisk, has lost a big one. He wanted to keep testimony of David Hale out of this trial, and he's lost this. The testimony of Hale can be allowed. Hale, former head of a small business administration office down in Little Rock, claims that Clinton once asked him or pressured him to make a $300,000 loan to Susan McDougal, his business partner. And for some reason, Fisk didn't want that in because he thought it would jeopardize his ongoing investigation. We have details of all this. Harry and Louise are back in health. In fact, if you just be cool, calm, collected out there, I don't think you'll go away disappointed after this show concludes today. Okay, Claude?
Again, lots of luck.
Thank you.
And keep going.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the encouragement, and I appreciate the patience. One thing, not everybody is going to be interested in everything that's discussed here. I've always said, by the way, just if you're new to this program, that this is the greatest job in the world. I am my boss. I talk about what I am interested in here. Because my theory is if I talk about something I'm not interested in, you're not going to be interested in hearing it because I'm going to sound bored. So I don't talk about it, and I'm interested in the O.J. Simpson situation on a bunch of different levels. And that, of course, will be demonstrated as events take place, because this is an event-driven show. But let's talk about Harry and Louise, because they're back. Now, Dee Dee Myers, White House spokeswoman, has offered this assessment of the return of Harry and Louise. Of course, these are the insurance industry commercials with this couple that have been extremely successful in raising doubts amongst the populace over the Clinton health care proposal. Dee Dee said, well, I'm hearing from everybody that health care is dead, but it must not be if the insurance agencies are going to bring back Harry and Louise. Dee Dee, dealing with the United States Congress, and dealing with the President of the United States who has the ability to pay off anybody with pork projects, it's never over till it's over. And these people know that even if they gain a victory this year, you people are going to be back next year. This fight is never going to be over as long as there are people, Dee Dee, who want what the President wants. And as long as there are people like Mrs. Clinton, who's even more vocal about it than he is. So don't get your high hopes up, Dee Dee, that this is the case. Now, here is the latest from Harry and Louise. They returned to the airwaves, raising new alarms over the specter of medical care rationing. It's a $2 million advertising blitz aimed at pressuring lawmakers to jettison constraints on medical spending and allow the industry to keep changing older workers and smokers are charging older workers and smokers higher premiums. Now, meanwhile, an NBC News poll, now this is interesting. NBC News poll found that 73% of Americans polled understand just some of the health care debate or none of it at all. 81% of those surveyed were satisfied with their current health care. 81% of you like what you've got. So why in the name of the dear Lord are we going to turn over an entire system with, when is the last, name me a poll where 81% of the American people say they like it? Ask any question. Are you satisfied with your life? You think 81% would say yes? Do you think you're earning the money you should be earning? You think 81% would say yes? Are you satisfied with the situation in North Korea? You think 81% would say yes? Are you satisfied with Bill Clinton? We know that about 43% say yes. Are you satisfied? Well, that's the poll in Gulf War was the president's approval rating after the Gulf War. That was above 81%. That's true. But ask people about their lives. And I don't know too many questions you could ask that 81% of the people would say they're satisfied with it. I thought, because I've listened to the president and Mrs. Clinton, I thought everybody hated health care. I thought the American people were demanding reform, that this had to happen this year. If it didn't happen this year, there was going to be congressional and legislative hell to pay. 81%, you people, are for it. I say we pass a new law. It's time to pass this law. The President of the United States cannot mess with anything unless the people's percentage of satisfaction drops below the President's approval ratings. No president should be allowed to mess with something this intrinsic and personal unless the public's percentage of satisfaction drops below the president's approval rating. I say that the degree of satisfaction with health care is twice the degree of satisfaction with the president. Wouldn't you say? 81 to 40, it's pretty damn close. No wonder Mrs. Clinton's running around hysterically now. She's out pounding lecterns now. The president's on Today's Show yesterday said, hey, if it happens in 5 years, that'll be fine with me. And she's out there yesterday afternoon saying, it is not fine with me. And the obvious question is, well, who is she? When did this become a one-vote nation? When did it become a one-mind nation? When did this become a nation that was propelled by the demands of one unelected, unaccountable mind? No matter how smart it is. Ask yourselves that. If you have an answer, call me. We'll be back.
You're listening to the EIB Network. Now, the story the Clinton White House doesn't want you to know. The real story behind the United States' ill-fated Haitian policy. A story of deceit, influence peddling, and public relations ploys that could ignite a bloody Haitian civil war, with U.S. troops caught in the crosshairs. A story you'll read only in the new issue of the American Spectator. See why Bill and Hillary Clinton are so willing to sacrifice American lives to restore a Marxist dictator to power. Learn about the tangled web of Washington lobbyists, Hollywood do-gooders, and left-wing friends of Bill who are playing fast and loose with U.S. foreign policy, with American taxpayers picking up the tab. Call 800-547-6262 now and get 12 eye-opening issues of the American Spectator for just $34.95, beginning with a shocking first issue. Call 800-547-6262 and see why the American Spectator is the country's most fearless news magazine. Call 800-547-6262 now.
AIM Electronics, 411 East Ash Street, Goldsboro, has the scanner for you. They carry a full line of unit and Bearcat scanners, including base stations, home units, mobile units, and handheld units, too. AIM Electronics and Unit and Bearcat have the right idea. Also, get a free frequency list with any purchase of a scanner. Stop in today for a free demo on any model at AIM Electronics, 411 East Ash Street, Goldsboro, your scanner headquarters.
Waynesboro Furniture, downtown Goldsboro, offers a variety of furniture and bedding and a special pay plans for those who need to buy now and pay later, including military E1 and up. Get quick delivery on living room, dining room, and bedroom furniture, as well as mattresses of all sizes. Price as low as $139 for the single size set with lifetime warranties to protect your investment. Get complete details on bedding, furniture, and accessories at Waynesboro Furniture, 119 North Center Street, downtown Goldsboro. Buy there, pay there, save there.
Welcome to the wonderful world of Shell. Now it's the new Formula Shell gasolines at the newly remodeled 117 Auto Truck Stop. Shell's cleanest burning gasolines, including the 93 Octane Premium. You can enjoy the most delicious food in the family restaurant and many other services such as LP gas service. Buy just the quantity you need. See for yourself the newly remodeled 117 Auto Truck Stop. Open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now serving you with the finest Shell new Formula gasolines, Highway 117 and South George Street, Goldsboro. A service of Dumas Oil Company. Barnes Jewelers' 14th anniversary sale continues with gift items for all occasions. All diamonds reduced up to 50%. Up to 50% off on 10 and 14 karat gold charms, chains, and bracelets. Diamond earrings, pendants, 2 and 3-piece sets with rubies, emeralds, and sapphires up to 50% off. And a selected group of items, 75% off during the 14th anniversary sale at Barnes Jewelers, Eastgate Drive, Goldsboro.
For special people, give something special from Barnes Jewelers.
We're already started. We are revving at 1,000 RPMs on our way to maxing the tack. It's Rush Limbaugh. This is the EIB Network at 800-282-2882. Here's Nancy in Hershey, Pennsylvania. Hi.
Hi. It is to you.
Thank you.
I appreciate your taking my call.
My pleasure.
Listen, I wanted to talk to you about what you had said a little bit earlier about the Time and Newsweek magazine coverage about O.J. Simpson. I may have misunderstood you, and if so, I'd like to give you a chance to explain it to me and to others who might have.
As one of my secretaries, Mary Ann, says, sure.
Well, you had talked about Time had doctored the blood shots to make O.J. look darker.
Yes.
And you also said that he looked more sinister.
Yep.
And my question is, why would making him look darker make him appear more sinister?
It's not that he looks darker, it's the shadows that are created by doing this. And in fact, let me read to you from James Barron of the New York Times. But Time's cover was darker, blurrier, and more sinister looking than Newsweek's. And his case number, a 15-character jumble of numbers and letters, was smaller in Time than in Newsweek magazine. Now, they've called Time about this, and they said, well, you know, there are competitive covers. It's a competition out there. We knew O.J.'d be on the cover, and we did a photo illustration. We took the photo and did an illustration of it rather than just run with the straight photo. And this is a criticism that I have not levied. I am simply reporting that it has been made.
Well, I thought that I'd probably misunderstood you, because I've been listening to you for years, and I've always enjoyed it. And unlike Claude, I'm very interested in the O.J. Simpson story and in your comments on it.
Good. I'm glad to know that. I really am. I get conflicting messages from you people.
Well, I've never heard you speak about anything that I haven't been interested in.
Thank you. Have you seen these two covers?
No, I haven't. And
you know what?
Why I was confused.
Do you have a way to I mean, you at home, you at work, can you leave where you are?
Yes.
Well, I'd like to conduct a test, and I will pay you for this. If you could leave and go get both magazines, or if you don't want to buy them, just go someplace where they're both on display and look at them, and then come back home and we'll call you.
Okay.
And ask you what you think of the difference.
Okay.
Would you do that?
I sure will.
Let me put you on hold here, and Mr. Snerdley will get your number. We'll not give the number to anybody. Now, she's going out prejudiced because she's heard what the New York Times has said, and she's heard my comment on it. And knowing that you're going out prejudiced, still, be as objective about this as you can, and see, when you look at the comparison, if you saw the O.J. picture by itself in Time, well, I'm not going to say anymore. You look at this any number of ways. If you purchase the magazines, send me the receipt or whatever, just how much it was, and we'll send you either the cash or something worth far more in value than either of those two. In fact, I know what. Are you as